I hope you guys are all well. It is a beautifully warm and sunny day here in Colorado. We've had the warmest winter. We've actually had warmer days in Miami, in Florida. So it's been great. Um, I'm just back from the retreat this past weekend, which was so great. We saw so many elk. Estes Park is known for a large population of elk because they're not allowed to be hunted there. So they just hang out on people's properties, and we had about 50 of them around us, which was so awesome. And we had them through our backyard, right up at our deck. We had turkeys. It was a great retreat. Lots of animal medicine, lots of medicine, all the good stuff. So for now, we are looking onwards to March. Today's readings are going to be about the first half of March, what's in store for you. We have the Virgo lunar eclipse tomorrow. I will be live with Mary Ducina tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So make sure that you guys jump in for that live broadcast. We'll be going into what this Virgo eclipse could be doing for you. I will say right now that one of the things, obviously, that is very Virgo in nature is really having to let go, because it is an eclipse on the south node. So it's about letting go of things where you have to let go of everything being perfect, everything being just so organized to a specific routine. It might be a time where you realize the old routines don't work anymore. The way you used to work does not work anymore, because Virgo does rule the house of service and how we work and all of those things. For some of you, it might be about your health as well. And this is, of course, very general. This isn't going by your actual sign. But Virgo does rule health, and there may be things where, old things that used to work for your body just don't work anymore. Like, for instance, me, realizing that running is not something I should really be doing. And I loved it, still love it. Just not great for my body while I'm going through this interesting feminine phase of my life. But Virgo, letting go. Now, of course, the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in Pisces, and it is retrograde right now. And Mercury will be retrograde for this first half of March. I believe it goes direct somewhere around March 15th. I don't have the exact date for you guys, but for the most part, it's going to be retrograde for you guys this first half of March, and also retrograde during this eclipse. So when we think about the South Node, where the eclipse is happening, it is about people from our past, right? It's about letting go of karmic ties, karmic contracts. And with Mercury being retrograde and ruling this eclipse, this could be where people from the past do come back around. I do feel like this eclipse could be bringing in opportunities that may have been missed last year, that you could be getting like a second chance for with Mercury going retrograde. And the reason why is because not only is Mercury going retrograde, but it's going to go retrograde past the actual eclipse point of 13 degrees Pisces and Virgo. But it's also going to then go back all the way to the North Node before it turns retrograde. Direct. So there's all these things of really needing to kind of look back, review, but also maybe something's going to come back around for you to say maybe yes to, where you said no before. Pisces, of course, rules are unconscious and superconscious at the same time. Pisces has no boundaries, so has that limitless feeling to it. But of course, are there fears around how limitless you can be? So a lot of these things are kind of being brought up to the surface with this eclipse. The nice thing about this eclipse, too, is that Jupiter is in a sextile to the moon. So there's a really nice positive door opening opportunity that could be coming through the Cancer part of your chart where Jupiter is, and really kind of bringing in some kind of expansion or growth, learning opportunity, something where you can really say yes to. So this is and this is a really interesting lunar eclipse. Now we also, with Mercury being retrograde in Pisces, Mercury does not like to be in Pisces because of course it's confusing and it can be foggy and it's like nothing's very specific. And so Mercury doesn't do well in Pisces. However, Venus is here in Pisces still. And while Mercury is going to be going retrograde, it is going to be making this trine to Jupiter. And so it's not going to be so bad, this Mercury retrograde. It really allows us, it's a great time to go inward, to really pay attention to your dreams, to write down your downloads. Things could be coming in that are really opportunistic towards maybe taking a leap of faith in something once Mercury does go direct. So pay attention to all of that. Also, Mars today is entering into Pisces. So it'll be out of Aquarius and in Pisces. So our natural drive, our desires are going to be very Piscean in nature. Again, meditation, going inward, resting, retreating, but also healing. And maybe some of you are going to be wanting to get more artistic, wanting to go more into music. Pisces is also about really kind of looking at your dreams and understanding what it is that you want. Where have you maybe stayed limited and really wanting to expand past that? Now, I will say this, with this Virgo eclipse too, we are letting go of things that no longer serve us, things that just no longer work for us. And if you guys caught my video last week on the fire horse, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but I also put out a short last week about the fire horse. And it was about how things just aren't working the way they used to anymore. And that was because of the year of the wood snake. And so this kind of lunar eclipse is really putting like a closing chapter on that. Like, and of course, this doesn't mean it's going to all happen tomorrow. The lunar eclipses happen over weeks, months, okay, of time. And so you're going to start to see something unfold over the next 6 months of a closing out of things, just really being done with doing things a certain way, working in a certain way, and realizing that it's time for something new. And of course, one of the things that I mentioned on the podcast 2 weeks ago, where I was pretty vulnerable about the shit that I've been going through the last 6 months. It's forced, and the really positive thing that's come out of it, it's forced me to find a stack of things that really work for me, and actually could work for others. Okay. In understanding how to understand that what you've done up until this point, what got you here, is not going to get you to where you want to go. And there's a reason why things stop working. And it's because it's time to let go and to embrace something new. But obviously, in order to really set into motion all these new behaviors and habits, you really need a new identity. And that's because new identities, when you have identity-based change, it's 3 times more successful than just creating goals for yourself. So if you really are done with whatever shit has been coming up for you, I highly suggest, I've got my Fire Horse Accelerator reading, Identity Accelerator reading down below in the links. So if you want to book in a reading with me specifically about this year of the Fire Horse, what's the identity you have to let go of? What's the identity you're stepping into? And then we can stack. I'll share with you all the different stacks that you would need to do to really get that quantum leap so much faster. I have been amazed at what my stack has been doing for me after literally feeling like the universe had abandoned me. My guides had abandoned me. My higher self had abandoned me. Like literally everyone and their mother had abandoned me, and nothing used to work anymore. And then creating this new identity in the stack that really started to create incredible instant results that just keep building upon itself. That is something I want to offer you guys, because last year was fucking painful. Like it was one of my darkest periods. And I know a lot of you have been going through it, and I just don't want that to be for you unnecessarily. So if you're ready to step forward, if you're ready to take the quantum leaps, I've got that reading in the description below. I think we should just jump into all signs now. So water signs, you guys are going to be first. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Let me just say hello, Dennis. Good to see you. MMW, good to see you as well. Oh, Madeline. Oh, all right. Love that. That's what we stand for. Good to see you, babe. All right. Let me see here. The god Mercury watching over the androgen in the garden. I love that. Androgen is an interesting energy. It's actually in this deck, and it is about the harmonization of the masculine and feminine energies for creative power, which is such a great place to be in. So that is Mercury in Pisces. Absolutely. All right, water signs. Let's take a look at what's in store for you. We're going to take a look at what is the main governing energy for your reading, as well as what could be the potential challenge you might be facing for the first half of March. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. There we go. Nice and fast. Just like, aha. Okay. Your main energy here is Mars. Let's see what your, okay, sorry, I almost thought it was something else there for a second. I just got to fix something on my screen really quickly. There we go. Okay. So if your overall energy, water signs, is Mars, Mars can be a little fiery, right? Of course, Mars is in Pisces. So for all my Pisces out there, you're definitely going to feel you are going to be fired up. You know, you could be one. I will say this to all my Pisces out there, when Mars is in your sign, and this is for everyone, but when Mars is going through your sign, Pisces, it's you now. Just be very, be a little more cautious with your body. It's easy to cut yourself. I remember when Mars was going through Cancer, which is my ascendant sign, I was cutting myself left, right, and center, banging into doors, knees, like scrapes. I mean, it's very easy to injure yourself when Mars is going through your first sign. Okay. But I will say, water signs, Mars is bringing you some kind of, it's bringing in the desire, right? Wanting to take action. So some of you may really be wanting to take action right now. Perhaps in order to take action, you have to cut something away, cut something loose, because Mars can be cutting, in its energy. But again, it's the will, it's the action, activism, and it brings in some sort of vigorism to your body. So you can assert yourself. For some of you, it may be time to assert yourself, to stand on business, you know, stand 10 toes down. Some of you may really be needing to do that. But with clarity of purpose, Mars leads you to very peaceful change, the upholding of human rights, and representing the unrepresented. When Mars appears, there is strength and vigor required to face the challenges ahead. So this may be a time, this first half of March, where you really got to apply yourself. You've really got to be ready to take action, have a little more determination in your sales. Be precise with your dosage of Mars, though, because of obviously when it's uncontrolled or too much, that's when we have outbursts. That's when we make mistakes. That's when we have accidents. Now, your challenge is the alchemical wedding. So this is like, I feel like something is trying to come together here for you. Oh, wow. I just opened right up to it. Okay. A ritual, celebration, uniting. So this is in your challenge position. Remember, so what was once lost has been found. What was once denied has come fully into the alchemist's brace. The work is often felt as serious and studious, but this is a time of celebration, a moment of levity and lightness. And since this is in your challenging position, it's really important for you to celebrate, water signs. So I would say, while there might be a lot of determination and will to get something done, to do something, to take care of something, to stand on business. And for some of you, maybe like to cut certain things out of your life or out of your, your routine or whatever it might be. There is also the need to celebrate. So don't get too caught up in the Mars energy or let it overpower you, because it does feel like you might miss a necessary moment to really take in the celebration. And then one of the things I've been really focused on this year that's really made a huge difference for me is I am always looking for the evidence that things are changing, no matter how small they may be. Anything to stop me from looking at past stuff that I'm done with, that I don't need to see anymore in my reality. Okay. So really taking that time to understand things might be coming together for you. It just may not look like it just yet, but really looking for some of those opportunities is important. You have come so far. Energy radiates from the uniting of opposites and the redrawing of life's blueprint. So there might be a redrawing of the blueprint for you in some way, whether it's your purpose, something in your life, but new form is arriving. Revel in the miracles. So I would say water signs, definitely take time to revel in the miracles for yourself. So let's kind of see where this is going with the tarot. We'll look at your past. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords coming up, and then in reverse, and then we have the Three of Wands. We also have the Strength card coming up. Coming into the present moment for my water signs. Okay, we have the Devil in reverse. We have the Lovers in the heart of your spread. We also have the Knight of Wands. Ooh, okay. I like this energy for you, water signs. Let's see what else is coming into your near future. Beautiful. We have the King of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Chariot in reverse. Okay. Overall energy is the Moon in reverse and the Empress underneath. What fantastic energy, water signs. I love the Moon in reverse. I love the Moon in reverse even more when the Empress is underneath it, because the Moon is revealing something now. When it's in reverse, it's saying something is coming to light. Something is going to be revealed here to you. I definitely am getting a sense for my water signs that there is some sort of hardship that's coming to a close. But sometimes when we're at the end of a hardship, it's like there's residual, right? It kind of makes you feel like it's always there. So, and sometimes, like I said, you can get caught up just constantly still looking at the negative, but things are changing. I will say too, with the Empress here, there's an expansion here. There's an expansion behind what's being revealed. More abundance coming in, more life, more vibrancy, more ability to grow things. So like the energy is very fertile for you under what's being revealed here. So I really like this overall energy for you, water signs. Now, in your past, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Three of Wands, and the Strength card. So I feel like, there's something where you had to really relook at maybe the way you're perceiving something with the Ace of Swords. Maybe you had an idea that you thought was really good, but you had to maybe review it, relook at it, do something about it. Again, also with the Ace of Swords, sometimes this is about new beginnings when it comes to your mentality. So mentally, there might be these new beginnings, but also with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it can kind of feel like it's not as smooth sailing as you would like. Like there might be been some bumps in the road or some delays of nature, especially for a new idea, perhaps. However, the Three of Wands here is telling me, though, that there was some steadiness of the vision you're holding and what you see and what you're pulling towards you. And with the Strength card, you've had a lot of courage. It feels like you've been, persistence is the word that keeps coming up. So you've been persisting through something. You've been, I don't want to say pushing, but in a way it's kind of pushing, but not in a way that maybe feels forceful, but just more from a deep willpower, which again is this Mars energy here. It's almost like when I look at this Mars energy, I feel like water signs, you're finally taking the lead, you're taking the charge, you're grabbing onto life force, okay? And you're saying mine, and you're going to do something with it. In the current energies, you have the Devil in reverse, the Lovers, and then the Knight of Wands. So this first half of March looks really good for you guys. You're finally breaking free of something that has made you feel stuck. You felt chained to it. It's like you've been carrying around this ball and chain of whatever, no matter how hard you try to get rid of it, it's following you around, right? And it feels like for some, like what you're seeing is whether it was that or like deep fears or some kind of really bad situation, it feels like that's lifting. And with the Lovers card here, it could be that there's new contracts being formed here. There could be like two people coming together. This might be about you and a partner. But the Lovers card is also a very big decision card, right? So could be a very big decision on the table, and it feels like there's a strong yes energy behind this. With the Knight of Wands here too, this is telling me there's going to be a lot of action. Water signs, I feel like you're going to be taking action. There's a good decision. I think there's an opportunity here. You feel like you're being set free and you're finally going to move forward with something, or there's going to be help to move you forward. Coming into the near future energies, we have the King of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Chariot in reverse. So with the King of Wands here, we go from Knight to King. So what I'm getting is something that's in motion is really getting a high level up. Like it's almost skipping a step. It's almost taking its own quantum leap, okay? Now this could be someone who at first seemed like they were maybe not as serious, but still helpful. And then all of a sudden, like they're there, they're like a rock. They're like ready to help you out. This could also just be you, water signs. This could be you really taking charge of a situation. You're feeling yourself for sure. Cancers and Scorpios and Pisces, like you're excited about something. There's magnetic energy around you. And with the Temperance card here, it just feels like you have been so patient waiting for it feels like something you've been patient for is paying off in the near future. And there's a strike of balance finally also coming in. So where it feels like things have been really out of balance and not in the way that you'd want them to be. And that's going to start to come into play and be a lot more balanced. But also with the Chariot card in reverse, be prepared to move forward in ways you weren't expecting. So the path ahead is moving forward, but it's going to be a little different than how you thought. And that could be something that comes through the Mercury retrograde where you're going to have to review something. But there's going to be forward movement here. So I really like this reading so far, water signs. Let's kind of go into the clarifiers and find out what this moon is all about. This moon in reverse. Ooh, okay. We have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords in reverse. So this could be some sort of, this could be an apology where something that felt very contentious, something that felt very strained between possibly you and another, there might finally be a reconciliation that allows for a lot more forward movement. And it would be putting you in a much better place. Now, for some of you, this might actually be about self-sabotage and really kind of realizing where you've gone wrong, what you're doing to stop those self-sabotaging patterns, which again, I will say gets so tied into a particular identity. So when you start changing your actual identity, it's a lot easier to let go of those sabotaging behaviors because they're not part of the new identity anymore. It's wild. It's wild for me to witness it in myself, but also in some of the people that I know that are also doing this work. So I'm going to pull one more card on this moon. So something's being revealed around this where it feels like you're revisiting something. Yeah, okay, and we have the Knight of Cups. So there's an offer coming your way that's going to be very pleasing to you, water signs. Something is coming your way. Like I said, It's going to be revealed. It's going to feel very full, very abundant. It's going to feel like there's going to be growth there, and whatever is going to be growing from it, under it, is very fertile. So there's a lot more that can even come from what you initially perceive. Let's see what this Ace of Swords. Ooh. Well, look at that. There's your Devil upright. And the Lovers in reverse. And here they are in the opposite directions in a good way down here. Okay, so look, I think you had this idea, but I think there were other things going on in your life that maybe put a bit of a stopper on it. Maybe it slowed it down, put delays around it. Maybe an opening opportunity here again, maybe even mentally, like you're trying to put yourself in a whole new state of mind. But there were some troubles here with the Devil. Again, the Devil can sometimes just talk about really deep-seated fears coming up, but it can also talk about maybe having the wrong people around you, being in the wrong environment that is not supportive maybe to the ideas that you had. And with the Lovers here in reverse too, this could be about like you and your partner maybe just not being on the same page. This could be just about maybe delaying the decision that you know you need to make from this idea. There's a lot that could just come here, but it does feel like things were kind of, there was an initiation, but then everything kind of got topsy-turvy a little here. But I do still, even despite that though, there was this incredible persistence for you to keep moving forward anyway, or at least keep things alive. We have on your Three of Wands, the Four of Cups in reverse and the Two of Wands in reverse. So you're looking at your future, right? You're looking at what is it that I want to bring towards me, and like what are you actively starting to prepare for? And with the Four of Cups, it's telling me is like this is happening because you're done feeling a certain way. Like you're done maybe feeling sorry for yourself. You're done making excuses for why. You're done playing the victim. You're done just being in whatever position you've been in, right? Because the Four of Cups upright is like, you're just not happy. There's just this energy of like, you can't even see the blessings around you because you're just not happy where you are. But when it's in reverse, you're like, F that, I'm like changing my situation. The thing is, with the Two of Wands here in reverse, there is a new path unfolding ahead of you that you're probably at a crossroads of maybe even navigating a new path, but you're not really sure exactly how to navigate it. So there's some things that are not very clear yet to you as you're doing this, but you're still doing it regardless. What's the Strength card? Wow. Okay. We have the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups. There you are. So I feel like you've been learning. Some of you have been maybe like even leveling up your own levels of intuitive ability, how you work with the unseen realms, really drawing on your strength from that. Just learning a bunch of new tools or studying up on something, right? The Page of Swords is very curious. It loves to study up on things, read things, just learn more. But it also could be that, you know, there's also like a deep love for someone here that you're drawing strength on and learning how to do things in new ways from that like core love. For some of you, that could be it as well. Let's see what this Devil in reverse is in your current energies. Okay, so the Devil in reverse is clarified by the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Guys, you guys have a lot of action happening. Like this Mars card is no joke in your overall energy. There's a lot of movement for you in the first half of March. And what I love is that you also have another offer coming in. Something's opening up maybe towards your dreams. Someone could be like opening a door here for you, and it's going to be fast. The Knight of Swords is it's the fastest knight in the deck. So it might even feel almost spontaneous in nature. And it's going to be whatever this is, it's helping you feel set free. Like you feel like you're finally breaking free of something, which is so important. Let me see what this Lovers is. Ooh, okay. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse and the Strength card. So you, again, it feels like, okay, if this is about you and a partner or someone important to you in your life, does not have to be romantic. This could be about you guys finally getting back on the same page, coming back to a common ground, really kind of working more cohesively. And it gets like there's almost like a review of what you both want for the future. Okay, what you both see for the future. And there's again, like with the Strength card here, it does feel like there's a little bit of it feels very coherent, the energy between you two in Strength, but it's, how do I say this? It's kind of bringing in like this kind of sense of like more courage to conquer more than what has already been kind of on the table between you and another person. So, and also addressing things from the past that maybe were keeping you apart and finding a way to come back together. Could definitely be here. Now, if this is just simply about a decision for you, water signs, it feels like there's a renegotiation of a contract, something that or something that you're like, yeah, no, I'm just saying no to that because I'm saying yes to this. You know, like really understanding where your no's and yeses need to land could be something that's of a very significant importance in the first half of March, possibly to sign a new contract or renegotiate one. What's this Knight of Wands? Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Water signs. This is, yeah, okay. And the Five of Wands. It feels like there's been a lot of stuck energy for you. And things just not moving in the direction or in the ways that you thought. And it's created a lot of inner turmoil for you. It's even maybe created a lot of drama and chaos in your life and maybe your certain relationships, maybe in your work, maybe in your health. I don't know. But what I love is that there's finally movement to get you away from this. Like it feels the word solution is coming in. So there's a solution that's coming in maybe from someone else to help like that again, the Knight of Wands is very creative. It's very optimistic and it's exciting. So there's something where like finally like this heaviness and energy that just, you know, you couldn't shake feels like it's really getting shook off you for this first half of March. What's this King of Wands? All right, we have the Ace of Wands, new beginnings, the birthing of something in many ways, opportunity when it comes to things maybe of very spiritual nature. Ooh, and then there's the Ace of Swords up right now. Brand new beginnings coming your way, water signs, both mentally and spiritually, creatively too. Like there's a passion, there's something to be excited about, there's optimism. So it could just even be like multiple doors are opening. Like I said, it feels like you quantum leap somehow. And like wherever you've been, water signs, you're leaving that behind and entering into a much better phase for at least the month of March. And it's like there's something about either your energy or someone who's coming in who's going to be around you that's so magnetic. They could be giving you ideas. They could be opening doors for you. So just kind of pay attention. What's this Temperance card? Oh, wow. Okay, for some of you, this is going to be about partnership. Okay, again, could be business partnership, any kind of partnership. But we have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Coins coming in on the Temperance card. You may have been in certain partnerships that have tried your patience. You've had to work very hard at them. There's a payoff coming for my water signs this month, a really good payoff. I will say too that again, there's this idea of something's really coming together. But it's coming together through hard work, diligence, putting in the effort, applying yourself, all of those things. And it's kind of finally like balance. So for some of you, you and this person, it could really be about, again, it feels like you're on the same page. Like it's just things are cohesive, things are working, and it's working in tandem. Like you're not working against each other. Like there's this really nice dance of energy that is committed. You know, the Eight of Coins is a very committed energy. What's this Chariot in reverse? Okay, we have that King of Wands in reverse. So it could be about this king over here. And we have the Judgment card. So again, I will say with Mercury retrograde in Pisces here, and us also having this lunar eclipse on the south node in Virgo, there is definitely a chance for people from the past to come back. I will say though, what this feels like is there's a second chance. And this is something that I feel like is the theme of this eclipse coming up. There's second chance of opportunities, the Judgment card, like something's coming back to life. And there's an opening of how you're going to be moving forward, but it's going to be happening in a way you don't expect or the way you predicted or you've seen it happening, right? There's going to be there's going to be some twists and turns, or just, you know, it's important to stay adaptable to this energy, but all of it really feels fantastic, water signs. This is a really solid reading. So please let me know throughout the month of March, come back to this reading and let me know how this all plays out for you, because I'm really seeing new beginnings. You're breaking free of something really old and heavy, something that has been weighing you down, tying you down, feeling like you're just never going to get rid of it. And I feel like this month you're going to finally start to feel free of it in some capacity, if not a very large capacity, which I think is fantastic. So water signs, that is my reading for you. Let me know, water signs, if you're in the live chat right now, or drop a comment below to just support my channel. The more engagement I have, the more the algorithms work in my favor. So I appreciate that. So we're going to move on to air signs. You guys are next. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Hey, CBs, good to see you. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. And also, if you missed the beginning, I've got the Fire Horse Identity Accelerator reading in the links below to help you guys get aligned for a quantum leap through this Fire Horse year, how to get the right stack of things to get that quantum leap, and what identity you specifically are being called to hold and let go of. Because this energy is very fast. It's very fast. So you don't want to amplify the wrong identity. That's what I feel like happened last year. It's like, ugh. All right. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Remember, your ascendant is going to give you the big picture of everything. It's kind of like speaking to your avatar. Your sun is going to be more of your purpose, your career. And then your moon is definitely about home life, inner world, sometimes even just your body. And then we all know Venus is money and love. All right. And you should be able to listen to all three or four with Venus. Because I do find when I listen to my moon sign, it is way more accurate when it comes to my home life. And I do find my sun to be much more accurate. I will say this, for career and purpose, but if you're in your 40s, mid 40s and up, you will find your sun sign to actually be more accurate. then at least holding more water, holding more weight than maybe your ascendant. It doesn't mean your ascendant won't have some truth to it, but just something to kind of keep in mind there. Okay. All right, air signs, let's do this. What's the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge? Okay. That was easy. The theme of your reading, air signs, is Jupiter. I don't know if you guys can see. I got the light, the way the light's coming in my room, my office. Okay, so you have Jupiter as the main theme of your reading. So Jupiter above all else is growth and expansion. And again, I will say this as I brought it up at the retreat on the weekend because, and I do this with a lot of my clients, expansion, as great as that sounds, your body will often interpret expansion as fear. They're very similar feelings to the body. So Jupiter is really being activated here for you in a sense of there is something wanting to grow, wanting to expand, something within your life or around you. Let me just kind of pull the book out, see if there's anything else that we need to see. Yeah, possibility, fortune, emerging from the darkness, shimmering with possibilities. It is the planet of growth, expansion, success, and elevation. So when this card appears, the future is full and bright, perhaps even dazzling. So everyone wants to be around Jupiterian energy. So there's likely a magnetic feeling at play. The work is to keep Jupiter's bigness in balance during the wave of expansion that is taking place. Its shadow is most easily seen through excess consumption and the messaging of never having enough. So you may begin comparing yourself with others or assessing your value. Let me see here. So it's important for you to know what truly needs expanding for you. Now, your challenge is the, let me just see if I can, is glass. Oh my gosh, where can I get, there you go, is glass, okay? So this is telling me that your expansion might be tied to being able to see things in a new way, change your perspective. Perhaps the lens that you're looking through is a little dirty. You may want to clean it. But it's very important to understand what lens you're looking through when it comes to your own expansion, your own success. So let's just kind of see where this is taking us with the cards. For my air signs, what do we need to know about the past? Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Prince of Wands in reverse. Coming into the current energies for my air signs. What is going on with all of these? Everything's in reverse. So that's an interesting thing. Okay, don't freak out though, air signs. We have the Emperor in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and then the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Also into the near future, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is telling me something has to go or something has to be said, and not so nicely. We have the Ten of Cups. What else? And the Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, so getting better towards the end here. Overall energy, Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged One. Yeah, not surprised. Look, you are kind of probably navigating two worlds in a way. One is like the old world. One is the new world where you have been for a while and where you want to be. The Two of Pentacles can kind of, something might be out of balance as well. But with the Hang One underneath it, and when I see all these reversals for you, this could be that things are moving slower, and possibly because there needs to be some time to look at things. We are in Mercury retrograde. So, you definitely don't want to rush through anything. It doesn't mean you can't take action. It doesn't mean you can't sign a document if you need to sign a document. Just be thorough, right? Take your time. Just don't rush through anything. But it does feel, though, like there's almost been something slowing things down. So with the past here, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and the Prince of Wands here in reverse, it feels like maybe you've been a little closed off from receiving, or feeling like you can't receive, or there's been some sort of stuck energy around receiving things that are perhaps like you're calling yours. And with the Seven of Wands here, it may have even been like a sense of giving up, or maybe also needing to surrender for some of you, right? So, but it could have been also like, there feels like there's a little bit of defeatedness coming through this energy of the Seven of Wands. So feeling maybe a little defeated. With the Prince of Wands here in reverse, this could also feels like there's something delayed, like some kind of good news has been delayed that you were hoping for. It hasn't come through yet. Doesn't mean it won't. Again, I will say you are likely going through some sort of major growth phase with Jupiter being here as your main thing. But the issue here is glass, meaning your perspective, the way you're seeing things has to shift in order for the growth to really start to take shape and form. Really taking off the lens of settling, limitedness, always confirming what you don't want, things of that nature, okay? Now, coming into the current energies, the Emperor in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm wondering if this could be you, or it could be someone around you that you're dealing with who feels a little out of control. They may not be great at boundaries. This could be someone who has a higher authority than you. It could be just someone who's maybe got more Aries nature to them with the Emperor. But you're finding yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. Air signs. You're finding yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. And now I'm understanding this energy down here. You're kind of hitting a breaking point, but I think it's a good breaking point. I think it's a much needed breaking point where it's just the same shit over and over. This could be you as well. So, just apply it to you if this is you. But you might be dealing with someone who, again, like I said, is just maybe a little too aggressive, maybe out of control, lacks self-control. Maybe is also trying to take more control than they should, so they can sometimes be a little manipulative. But also like just poor leadership. And it's really impacting, like with your Three of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles here in reverse is like there's a foundation here that maybe between you and another person that is just not supportive anymore to you. Okay, it's just not working. You can't, and so I'm seeing the dissolving of something, whether this is like you working with someone, or this might be a friend, or maybe someone else. I don't know, but I'm just seeing like something's kind of falling apart here. But it's doing that for a reason, because there's going to be in the future, I see a conversation where it's like, this ends, like no more. Like, I'm not taking this BS anymore. Like, it may be someone having a conversation with you. One of the most powerful things that I have been doing, like, and I write it out every day, okay, is I force myself to look for all my wins, the wins yesterday and the wins today. And then I do that every day. And it's just like, it's really helping to rewire my neuroplasticity when you're in a shitstorm for months and months and months. And it just feels like shit just keeps raining down on you from the heavens of a fucking porcelain toilet, you know the universe is just dumping on you. Okay, it's really hard to see good, and so all of a sudden, like your brain is just trained to constantly look for the negative, right? So looking for the positive is like something that I'm seeing a shift happening here for you, air signs. So let's kind of get some clarity on a deeper read on this for you. What is this Two of Pentacles? This overall energy of Two of Pentacles in reverse. Well, look at that. Okay, so it's the Empress in reverse with the Strength card. Sorry, Empress upright, Strength card in reverse. So again, something is out of balance at minimum here with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, right? But you're also at a crossroads. You have to make a choice, right? Two of Pentacles is you have to make a choice, and you're having to contemplate over something. You're having to really look deeper within yourself with the Hang One underneath it. And it's really about like your self-worth. Okay, and having the courage to stand up for your own value, to take yourself seriously, to say, hey, no, like I want my 10 of Cups. Like I deserve my 10 of Cups. So why am I not standing up for it? Why am I letting this shit just keep piling up around so that I actually never see my 10 of Cups? So, yeah, you're kind of at a bit of a crossroads here and having to make a choice. What's this Six of Pentacles? Okay, yeah. So the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Faith card, which is also the Hierophant in this deck. So I feel like, again, the Faith card is very Jupiterian energy in a way. Like it's Taurus, yes, but it's also very spiritual. Like Jupiter is very spiritual. It can represent the churches, spirituality, religion, all of those kinds of things. And so I just feel like, you know, whatever you've been going through, again, like this sense of not feeling like you're receiving or you're able to receive, or that things are being like coming your way when they should be, it has forced you to look inward more towards your own faith, your own spirituality, or your own religion, and really kind of look at perhaps, you know, where you haven't opened yourself up enough to the unknown, to trusting God, the universe, to be the bearer of your bounty, is what I'm hearing. What is the Seven of Wands in reverse? Okay, we have the Judgment card in reverse. So I feel like you're maybe kind of going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul here, air signs, with the Judgment card here in reverse, feeling like you're not on your path, and also like bringing you to a little bit of surrender, like letting go, and also maybe even wanting to feel like you're giving up. But with the Death card here, as also coming up in reverse, there's this difficulty in letting go of something, right? Not really fully ready to move in a certain direction, to leave something behind, to let go of something, to even in some cases for some of you, like I went through, like maybe if it's even an identity death, okay? Where like the whole purpose of an identity death is to bring you to your knees, Seven of Wands in reverse, right? And take you through a little bit of a dark night of soul to realign you back to a path that you're supposed to be on. What is this Prince of Wands? Okay, the Five of Cups. Yeah, there was some news, or you were waiting for something that didn't really happen and kind of upset you here. You're kind of down about it. Something maybe just didn't go the way you had hoped it would, or it's just delayed. It could just be delayed. Again, about how you're going to maybe move forward with the Chariot card here, about your path, being guided and directed. There was something that you saw opening up on your path, or how you wanted to move forward, but it hasn't happened yet. It's again, I want to say for some of you doesn't mean it's not. For some of you maybe, but not all of you. It's just delays. But again, I would say that there's a shift coming, right? Because you are going through a major growth phase. What's the Emperor in reverse? Okay, we have the Page of Wands. And the, sorry, I should just keep going this way. The Five of Wands. It's interesting because this Emperor is someone who is, again, I just want to say a little out of control. Okay, not at least maintaining enough self-control. And it's creating a little bit of drama around you, some kind of chaotic energy. But the Page of Wands is now upright. So this might be where your good news is finally coming in. It might be somehow related to this. For some of you, this Emperor could be you in a sense where you felt so out of control. Like you're just always in the midst of chaos and trying to navigate chaos. That's what also could be happening here. And finally, some good news is coming in. But again, like with the Six of Swords, you're still kind of caught in a little bit of a shitstorm here. What's the Six of Swords? Ooh, interesting. We have the Three of Coins and the Nine of Wands upright, which is interesting because the Three of Coins is in reverse over here. It's like you're trying to build something, but it's so tedious. It's so exhausting, right? Like, and you're pretty close to completing something with the Nine of Wands, but it's like, in order to get there, it's like you just have to keep going through this cycle that is just so annoying, you know, like it's like you're done with it. So what is this Three of Pentacles in reverse then? Well, we have the World and we have the Page of Coins coming up. You know what? This Three of Coins might actually be something where there was cracks in the foundation that you're finally like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done here, right? Like whatever this is, I'm done. And you're kind of closing this chapter out, but at the same time, you're also working on something new. With the Page of Coins here, this is an energy that is newer. It's not developed yet, but it's coming in, it's starting. And it's building something slowly. All right. It's studying something. Also, it's learning. It's learning the ropes. It's gaining a little bit of traction, just enough to start building something. And so it makes me feel like you might be starting something new and being done something old that's really just too exhausting for you. It's way more work and effort than what I guess the payoff is. For some of you. What is this Queen of Swords in reverse? Because this is okay. We have the King of Coins in reverse. We have the Devil in reverse and the Temperance card coming up. So feels like there's going to be a conversation where someone's getting a little iced out here. And it's really about striking balance again. Because remember, this is about bringing balance back in some way into your life, into some area of your life, maybe not your whole life, but some area. And it's just like, you have to have a conversation. You're trying to break free of something that perhaps you've been avoiding and you now know you just can't avoid it. Like this has to be dealt with. And again, with the King of Coins, you know, this could be a father figure. This could be someone who just hasn't been showing up in the way that they've said that they would. This could be a boss or someone in a higher up position than you who's just not not leading you in the way that they say they will, or they're just not following through on things, which makes it very hard for you to do your job. It could be a lot of things, but I just see a conversation that's really not mincing words. Like you're not sugarcoating anything here. When the Queen of Swords is in reverse, there's certainly no sugarcoating. Like this is a very honest and truthful conversation that may even be a little like forceful in nature a little bit. But we've got the Ten of Cups here, which also has the Three of Swords just came out on top of it, but also the Sun. Okay, so look, in order for you to go for your Ten of Cups, there has to be some loss in order for you to open up like the brighter skies, to have the optimism. So there's a little bit of healing and pain that is coming through this mix, but you're like, you know what? Like there's clarity though. When the Sun comes in, there's a lot of clarity. Like you're not wondering here anymore. So you're finally going to get direction and decision. What's this Five of Cups in reverse? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. And the Eight of Coins in reverse. I feel like some of you might be changing jobs, might be looking for something else, or you might be choosing to work in a different way than what you're used to. I do see you kind of like taking your foot off the gas in a way where like if you've been overworked or over like performing, doing things that really you're not getting the reward for. I just see you saying, yeah, no, I'm just not doing that anymore. Like there's a big change coming in here. And it's just because you're starting to really also value yourself, right? And so again, I will say though, in order for the shift to happen, you're going to have to look at things from a different lens than what you've always seen them from. Again, very important with the Hanged One here, as well as the Glass Oracle card in the position of a potential problem or challenge for you. So air signs, I just see like you've been kind of really definitely going through it, but you're in this place where it's time to expand, it's time to grow. And that might mean really kind of stepping up to the plate and having to do something that's a little pushing you out of your comfort zone for sure. That's how growth happens, right? But I do see though that there's an opportunity here also in the midst of something new that I think you're also feeling very kind of pulled towards. So I would say follow it, have the conversation that you need to, and know that sometimes good things that are you're moving towards do require letting go, which can sometimes be painful, but also be hopeful as well, which is what I'm seeing here for you. Okay, so that is for my air signs. Let me know, air signs, if that one resonated with any of you, if you're in the live chat right now, or drop a comment later if you catch it after the live. And we will move on to fire signs. You guys are next. Yeah. Okay. All right. Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh. Let's find out what's in store for you for the first half of March. And again, to all my fire signs, being the year of the fire horse, if you're ready to quantum leap and want the alignment of what needs to be, what your identity needs to be, what you need to be saying no to, saying yes to, without any kind of compromise or negotiation. I've got my Fire Horse Identity Accelerator reading in the show notes, in the description box below. All right. What's in store for my fire signs for the first half of March as we close out our first first eclipse season of 2026. Let's see. Hi, Bonnie. Kathy, good to see you. Madeline, yeah, that reading was pretty good for water signs. All right. Fire signs, let's find out what's in store for you. First half of March. Let's see what's the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge. What is the main theme? Okay, and what is the potential challenge? All right. Okay, the main theme is Jupiter again for my fire signs. I will say, okay, let me just again, this is like about having more, but the challenge for you is different because it's Earth's heart. Okay, it's about really getting to the core of matter, really going deep within, like even connecting to Mother Earth for your answers. But let's look at that one a little. The depth, the pulse, and the buried treasure. So amidst our phenomenal scientific pursuits, we have yet to journey to the core of the earth. We can only suppose what is there or not there. It's related to the archetypal image of the cave, which again is the heart, the fourth chakra. This card appears when there is something blossoming deep within that requires our attention or tending to. It could be a new love, a way of serving others, or an offering to the planet and its resources. Earth is the true heart. The journey of discovery will take you through many layers, slowly revealing her gifts. This is proof of Earth's longing to provide and teach. You already felt the pulse of the Earth's heart. Now time to listen, to be a student of her wisdom, which is very Jupiterian in nature too. I will say that this is really speaking to that kind of Jupiter in Cancer kind of energy that we've got right now. Jupiter will be going direct this month in the first half of March. So really pay attention. For obviously my Aries, that's your fourth house. So like home and family life and inner world. For Leos, it's your 12th house where you're looking at like your things that are hidden, your deep fears, what needs to be really healed, how you internalize everything. It's also the parts of yourself that you keep hidden from others. And then for my Sagittarians, this is about, your 8th house. So this is really looking at all 8th house things. So psychology, your subconscious, your ability to connect intimately. It could sometimes be about sexual energy. It's also covering like the occult and mysteries of the world. So there's something about where it feels like you're tapping into new wisdom, but you have to do it from deep within yourself. Like it has to come from your heart. And through there, you're going to understand deeper layers of understanding of what you're really moving through, but also it's bringing in more for you, right? Remember the Earth's heart, one of the key words here is buried treasure. So this is about you perhaps finally getting closer to holding some buried treasure within you. Have you learned the lesson? Has Jupiter taught you well? Have you gained what you've needed to here? Not just physically, monetarily, but really of the deepest nature. Let's find out what we need to know about the past here for my fire signs. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Two of Wands. I'm losing. The sun will be down soon. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. All right. Coming into the current energies for my fire signs. We have the Three of Wands. Ooh, we have the Queen of Swords in the heart of your spread. And then we have the Hierophant as well. Coming into the current, the near energies, the near future energies. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups. First time we've had the Eight of Cups come up in the readings today. Ah, and there we go. The Sun card closing out your reading. All right. Overall energy. Wow. The Empress, Nine of Cups in reverse. So this really is about your expansion and how much more can you hold. That's one of the things that Jupiter in Cancer has really been teaching all of us, because Cancer represents like our deep emotions of that are like, how we feel in our bodies, because the body is the vessel, is the home of the soul, and also can really ties into, and it's really interesting that we're kind of going through this as Jupiter's been in Cancer, the South Node's been in Virgo, which is very nervous system related, right? And so letting go of like old ways that our nervous system has been, programmed to feed our emotions through our body. And what does that mean for when we want to step into an expanded state of who we are, right? How much more can I become? Who am I to become? This is something that, at the retreat, I shared with the girls that, one of the biggest reasons why I went through one of the hardest years of my life, was because I was hell bent on finally saying, okay, I'm calling in more than I've ever known before. And that meant I had to shed a lot, and my whole body had to be reprogrammed nervous system wise to know how to hold that much more. It didn't feel safe holding that much more. Jupiter in Cancer wants to feel safe with more. So we've all been having to really kind of look at that, like how our bodies won't even allow us to, because they're so programmed to only hold a little. Now, with the Nine of Cups here in reverse, this is kind of speaking to maybe delayed dreams of yours. Have they come true? The things that your wishes, the things you want fulfilled, right? And there is a place where with the Empress here, this is really truly about like you really becoming it all, right? Like you holding it all. Holding more for those dreams to no longer be delayed, those wishes to no longer be unfulfilled. So that's kind of like the main theme here of your reading, fire signs. With the Queen of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Eight of Wands here in reverse in your past energies, I see that, for some of you, this might involve someone you deeply care about with the Queen of Cups here, but this could also speak to the intuitive nature of yourself, of really kind of tuning more into that more deep feeling, nurturing, intuitive energy. And what does that mean for your path? Because there's a timeline split here in the past. And with the Eight of Wands, you hit a roadblock. You hit a no pass go energy here. So something came to a halt, or something became very unclear to you about how to navigate moving forward. Now, coming into the current energies, we have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Hierophant. So again, This is about like, what is it that I want for my future? What am I seeing for myself? What am I starting to call in? What is some of the evidence of it already coming in? What more do I want? And with the Queen of Swords, it's kind of here, it's kind of sitting in the heart of your spread. Now, this could be you, this could be someone else, but I think at the end of the day, this energy is very decisive. It's very clear. And I'm feeling like, for some of you, again, the Queen of Swords often sometimes represents a little bit more of a conversational energy with someone, for me, but it doesn't have to necessarily be. This could just, I don't know, with the Hierophant here, like I'm just seeing like, I'm getting more of this energy for you in the first half of March where you're going to get so fucking clear and really know where you're saying no to, right? And I'm saying that because of what I'm seeing coming up in your future energies. This is really about like really being firm, and it's like, I'm done with this. I am saying no to that. Like that no longer gets a maybe or a yes energy from me. And with the Hierophant, like you're really leveling up. You're calling in a higher awareness, a higher consciousness to yourself. You're stepping onto a path that requires more of your own internal leadership, really trusting in your own higher self. Your connection to God, the universe, is really guiding you through this. It's becoming very important. Now, in the future energies, you have the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Sun card. So I'm seeing you are taking really fast action here in the near future. And the action though is walking away from shit, right? Because you have the Eight of Cups here. You're like, no, I'm going to follow what my soul is like guiding me towards. Something is pulling at my heartstrings and I've said no to it before, but now I'm saying no to the thing that doesn't align with my heart and I'm moving forward. And this is bringing you into a very deep yes energy of the Sun here. This is saying there's a lot of optimism and hope on the horizon for you. There's something that you could literally be saying yes to that gets you very excited. This is the birth of something new too for you coming your way. So it's really important that you get connected to what it is that you want, right? This is where things can get a little messy if you don't really tune into what are your core needs. What is your buried treasure? What is that you want, right? Time to really bring it up to the surface so that you can have that. Let's see what this Empress energy is all about. What else can we know about the Empress energy? There's the Sun card. 2 Sun cards in your reading, fire signs. Definitely. Oh, wow. Okay, so interesting. You have the 10 of Cups in reverse, but the 10 of Coins upright. So again, it's like, I wonder for some of you, when I see this energy, makes me feel like maybe some of you have really sold out your dreams for like a particular paycheck, right? For the security of a particular paycheck, a career that, definitely provided you all the safety that you wanted. But perhaps now it's about growing that safety from inside of you. For others of you, this might be really about learning like, okay, maybe you were following your dreams and now you have new dreams. Like I said, when I look at the length of my life and all of the big dreams I've had for myself, some of them have been already lived and I've realized I want something else now. And not out of greed, but because of the person I'm becoming. It's like you want different things. You start evolving, right? And so your dreams start evolving. Your destiny starts evolving. And so I'm seeing like a lot of that energy here that may require you to invest more, whether it's more money, more time, more resources into something in order to make this happen. Okay. All right, let's see. What is the Queen? We have the Death card in reverse. Yeah, okay. So, fire signs, I really feel like for some of you, you've had to really tune in, okay, into like what your intuition, you're really using your own, your feelings and energy to get things moving, to follow, because something isn't working here for you. With the Eight of Cups here in reverse, either you stopped enjoying the work you're doing or you've been procrastinating on something. It's like you're wanting to tune in, but you're also, it's with the Death card here in reverse, there's something you've been afraid to let go of, something that has not been allowed to transform, not allowed to take new shape, right? So it's staying in the old energies. And I think you've been realizing, especially with this Eight of Wands here, like you're not going to be able to get around that. Like, there's a reason why it's not working. Again, if you haven't seen my short that I did last week, go watch that one, fire signs, because this is kind of applicable. We also have the Four of Swords coming up on your two. You're like, yeah, there's again, it's this fork in the roads kind of energy where you're like, I'm at a split timeline. Like, what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I want? And really having to retreat inwards, to look inwards, to meditate, to rest. Six of Cups in reverse. Like, again, Six of Cups in reverse is like, have I lost sight of what is meaningful to me and what I feel so called to? Like that, like when I was a kid, like I had these like dreams, and I don't know why I'm getting this feeling that for some of you, not all of you, but some of you feel like you sold yourself out, okay? For like, you know, the paved path that many of us go down. This is not a diss on any of you guys, trust me, but it's just like, you know, it's a reality. It's like sometimes we sell ourselves out to follow what is safe, what is like what everyone else is doing. And I just feel like you're trying to get back in touch with what is it that like maybe my inner child wants? What is it, you know, that deep down like makes me feel a little more nostalgic inside? Even feels more connected to you on a soul level. So what is this Eight of Wands? Okay, we have the Knight of Coins. So things really slow down. King of Wands. I don't know, like things maybe are moving too slowly for you. Because the Eight of Wands here is like telling me that you just didn't have the clarity at minimum. Okay, but to me, Eight of Wands in reverse is usually like a halt, a stop. It's like no systems go, kind of like, I don't know, it's like a shutdown kind of energy. And here you are, and maybe this is where like you're realizing like maybe I'm being slowed down for a reason, or maybe I'm not meant to go this direction at all. Like maybe there's a timing issue. Maybe it's just not this isn't the way. What is the Three of Wands? Okay, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So this is nice. So there's something coming up here in the first half of March where there's the ending, the lifting of a very heavy, burdenous cycle that you've been going through for quite some time. We also have the Faith card coming up now twice in this row because it's over here in the Hierophant. So again, like you're really tapping into spirit. You're really kind of asking source, your creator, God, the universe, right? Like, hey, what is it that I'm wanting? Because it looks like you are starting to call in energy, and the energy of the heaviness is starting to lift for you. Okay, but I would say that it's lifting because you're really tuned in to your higher power. And I would say too that I feel like you are getting a sense like it's time to level up. It's time to go to the next level. You can't stay where you've been. Because one, it just doesn't feel like you're happy there anymore, but more than anything, it just doesn't feel like you're fulfilled. What's the Queen of Swords? Okay, we have the Six of Coins. Some of you might be having a conversation to ask for more money. You might be asking for a raise. You might be asking for a different maybe position team. You might be getting a whole new, like this might be something like you're ready to have a conversation on what you want to receive, okay? What else is this Queen of Swords? Yeah, it's this Page. You're not happy. Page of Wands, Three of Wands in reverse. So it's like things that maybe you were promised you're not getting and you're tired of waiting. You're maybe seeing the writing on the wall, like maybe this isn't going to happen at all. And if it does happen, is it going to be in the time frame that actually works for me? And it just looks like you're having like this Queen of Swords is just, I don't know, really like you're getting very clear on what you're going to say no to. Like, no, this just doesn't work for me anymore. What's the Hierophant? All right, we have the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands in reverse. I think there's going to be a lot of courage coming through. Like you're feeling energized. You're feeling, I don't know, you're really feeling like in a very strong place where you're ready to utilize, okay, your higher power, but also this is also about you taking your own leadership, stepping up and really allowing your soul to guide you to perhaps take initiative on something that you knew you should have taken initiative on before. But it's been put on the back burner, right? But now it's kind of getting its day in the sun. And this is a new opportunity for you. The Ace of Wands, there's a new beginning that's coming up here. And this could be a really big new beginning because Ace of Wands are the beginning of the beginnings. Okay. So this could be something that you're like, all right, it's time to say yes to this. What's this Knight of Swords? Okay, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. I'm telling you, I feel like you guys are saying no to something so you can finally say yes to what you really want to say yes to. Yeah. Six of Wands. You're ready to leave something behind. I don't know what that energy is. It's a specific kind of energy that you know, it's almost like you're going through a breakup with an energy. Okay, and you're like, and you're doing it fast. You're going to be doing it fast after this first half of March. You're taking action. You're moving swiftly, and you're moving on. And like with, especially with this Eight of Cups here, you're like, yeah, no, I'm following my heart. I'm following my soul. Okay. You have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Empress again upright, and the King of Coins in reverse. So I feel like you are really you're following your divine feminine energy, meaning you're following your intuition. You're following this energy that is so unknown, like you can't put a finger on it, right? But it's like it's speaking to you and it's moving you. And you're like ready to say, you know what, this other way, like I'm just surrendering. I'm surrendering. And with the King of Coins here, it feels like you're saying no to some kind of tradition, something that has been traditional for you, or has some kind of traditional meaning. That you're just, and it's because you're tired of not showing up for yourself in the way that you know you should be showing up for yourself. You're showing up for your life, you know, like there's something like you're really taking the reins here. So you've been really going through a growth process, but it's really important as you go through this fire signs that you know exactly in your heart what you want. What's the Sun? What's this Sun? Oh, it's way too many cards. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So really, whatever this is, it's dissipating the anxiety. And the Fool card in reverse. You are really embarking on a brand new adventure. Now look, your fears is dissipating. This is something you have delayed on. You have delayed. It should be upright, but you've been delaying on this. And finally, like there's some sort of energy that's shining a light on a door that's opening for you. Like you're seeing, it's like you're walking and like some portal is opening up ahead of you. And it's like saying, hey, second chance, ready to go through it this time? And you're like, yeah, I am. I know who I am now. I know what I want. And maybe this was good for me for a time. It's not good for me now. Okay. And that's kind of like, or for some of you, it may have just been like, again, a safe route. And you're like, no. I can't just play it safe anymore. I have to really listen to my heart. And it's like about fulfilling like big dreams of yours that you haven't fulfilled. And again, I will say for some of you, this may mean you have to invest something into it big, like commit, where it could be money, it could be time. It's something, okay, that you're really having to commit to. So, fire signs, that's my reading for you. It looks good. Looks like it's going in a good direction, but it's going to require a little courage. You're going to have to like really understand like, okay, this is time to move. And really know what you're saying yes to, because there's some things that you really have to say no to, by the looks of your reading. Okay. All right. So, fire signs. Let me know if you're in the live chat right now, if that one resonated with you. Earth signs, you guys are next. Last and certainly not least. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh, I love that I'm flying through these readings. They're just moving so well. All right. So let's find out what's in store for my earth signs for the first half of March. I can't believe this year is just flying by. Why do the years feel like months now? Like, why is everything moving so quickly? And again, if you're just joining in now, or you only watch for your earth sign, I've got the link in the description below for those of you who want to book in with my Fire Horse Identity Accelerator reading. Okay. I'll be leaving that open for a little bit since we just started the Fire Horse year, so that you can get yourself properly aligned for your quantum leap or leaps, because the energy is going to be very strong for quantum movement. Just make sure it's the quantum movement that you want, because you can quantumly jump into the wrong place too. And even as I say that, I mean, well, I should say actually that, like, you know, if you stay somewhere too long when you should be already out of there, but there's been resistance to change, you haven't learned the lesson yet, some quantum shit can kind of like happen that creates way more chaos and shitstorms than you really want. All right, so earth signs, let's do this. We're going to look at the main theme of your reading and the overall, maybe the potential challenge, I should say. So overall energy, and potential challenge. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Earth signs. The main theme of your reading is conjunction. So two things coming together as one. I love this card. It's the merging of two energies into one to maybe amplify each other in different ways. The challenge that you have is calcification. So right away, it's like the thing you need to be aware of is maybe where you might be a little inflexible. Let me just look at these, because these cards are pretty close together. Yeah, conjunction's the last one. So love, divine union, and infinity. It's the great alchemical operation of love. So for some of you, this might really be about, not necessarily romantic, but it can be, you know, for some of you, romantic love, but just a deep love. Again, it does speak to divine union. It could just also be the merging of two specific energies. The work of two opposites merging to create a unique third form. So for instance, sun and moon unite to reveal the entire cosmos. Black and white unite to reveal the spectrum of color. conjunction represents a conscious and benevolent union, one that springs forth from awareness, acceptance, and devotion. It is not a compromise, but rather an activation, a holding of tension and presence that allows each of the entities to thrive and express themselves. So this isn't about one energy dulling the other. Okay, this is really about both being in this beautiful amplification, and also creating a third energy. So for some of you, this could be pregnancy. Okay. Let me just look at calcification here. Heat, fire, and desire. Ooh, this really could be pregnancy. Okay, so it occurs when there is enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. So for some of you, you might need a little help in the bedroom to get this pregnancy going. Again, and I know most of you, it's not about that, but I'm just having a little bit of fun here with the cards. Okay, so with a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame. On a psychic level, the stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. I will say, again, I talked about this many times on several different videos and podcast episodes, but sometimes your anger can be channeled in a way for really positive change, to finally bring two things together to make a third thing happen for you, right? Anger is not the worst emotion in the world to have, and just because you're angry does not mean you're a bad person. That is one of the biggest things that people have a hard time getting over. It can really move you to take action in the right amounts when channeled properly. The transformation that occurs from calcification is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through the discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. So in order for something to come into union, there is a likelihood that you're needing to let go of something, through perhaps sitting in the discomfort of something, right? That you're like, oh, okay, why am I doing this? I feel so shitty, or like, okay, I don't like this, but it's necessary for the transformation to happen, right? So again, it's eventually the phoenix rises. So let's see where this reading's taking us, Earth signs. What do we need to know about the past for my Taurus, Virgos, and Capricorns? There you are, right off the jump, Queen of Pentacles. What else do we need to know about the past? We have the Knight of Wands. Ugh! And the Empress again. Can you believe that? The Empress has come out in everyone's reading. I don't know if it came out in air signs, but everyone else is for sure. Wow. And all in the main cards. Okay, coming into your current energies, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups in the heart of your spread, Earth signs. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Coming into the near future energies, we have the Four of Cups. That's where your discomfort's coming in. Where you're gonna have to sit with that. Ooh. Ooh. Ten of Wands. Three of Swords. All right, well, there's where it's going to get a little dicey. But the overall energy is Six of Swords. So moving on from difficult situations and painful periods. And the Seven of Cups is underneath it so that you have more options, knowing that there are other doors for you to move through. And again, moving through perhaps with another person together, or just other doors of opportunity, okay, that can be there. So, Yeah, this is about you moving on, okay, from a place where some of you may have been a place of confusion with the Seven of Cups underneath it, but also like moving on, knowing that there are other possibilities. And I don't mean like other possibilities in a sense of separation, but like more possibilities to explore together. So in the past, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Empress card. So here I'm seeing like, here you are, right? Perhaps like really kind of finding your ground again, feeling more solid, more secure. You may have been really working and focusing on your money, maybe your health, and your job. So, but what I'm seeing, these were all important, like, like where your focus may have been, earth signs. And with the Knight of Wands coming in here, it's likely that you were inspired to take action or something happened around you or for you that was perhaps an exciting opportunity. And whatever it definitely was, filling your cup, okay? It was filling you up. With the Empress here, things were starting to expand. Things were starting to look better, more hopeful. Just felt like your garden was starting to grow and bloom. Now, in the current energies, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and then the Knight of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you are going to be receiving something over the next 2 weeks or so, or signs you're receiving maybe some more money. Maybe there's a gift coming your way, an offering of some sort. But it's related to, I think, Ten of Cups here, a very big dream of yours, okay? Something that, it really represents the pinnacle of what your heart desires. And with the Knight of Cups here in reverse, I think it's going to be offered to you in a way that for some of you, it might feel a little bit delayed. Okay, there could be some delays around it, but for others of you, it feels like it's more like, almost like it's got a bit of a surprise energy, like it's kind of coming out of the closet, like you didn't know it was there, almost like it was in hiding, and now it's presenting itself. Okay, so the first half of March looks really good. However, like I said, calcification is your challenge, and you have this divine union, this merging of two energies to make a third coming for you. Again, it's love in many ways. It could be love for what you do, love of another person. It could be love in many different ways. But remember that there sometimes needs to be some heat applied to a situation, meaning it might need to get a little dicey. It might, for some of you, this might be like really needing to add more fire to the bedroom. Maybe this is about an argument that needs to happen. Like I think about even just a few weeks ago, a month ago, I remember Ian and I had this horrible fight, like saw an ugly version of myself come out, right? And so did he. But in the end, we were both like, holy shit, it was such a good fight in the sense that we realized, oh, wow, we need to like shift this. And so much good came out of it, right? And so it's kind of like, I'm feeling like kind of like for some of you, maybe there's a really like a fight needs to happen, meaning like some passion needs to get stirred. Like you got to know, like, what are you like saying? Like, what are you desiring? What is it that you want? What are you not getting? Are you not getting what you want? Like, what is that here? And I see that kind of transpiring through the near future where, it's interesting because I feel like they're kind of related and not related. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. And there's something that's like, you're not happy with the Four of Cups, right? This is like, okay, I'm not really happy with the situation or this energy. I don't like how I'm feeling. And it could just be all about you. Okay, it could just be all about you, earth signs. And it's like, okay, you know what? You're realizing you're carrying this really heavy burden. This Ten of Wands, something has been weighing down on you. You're like, God, it's like killing my joy. It's killing my passion. It's killing my desire to move forward, to know when to say yes. And so with the Three of Swords, it's like, all right, I need to address this. I need to heal it. I need to maybe go into a bit of a painful place. Now, this could be with someone. This may just be all about you, earth signs, okay? But whatever it is, some heat likely needs to be applied or some desire needs to come in. And so don't be afraid of using some of those energies. I would just say, just be mindful not to go, buck wild with it. All right. Because what it's going to do is it's going to bring in more of the transformation. I actually see you got movement here, right? But there's something else underlying there that's still needing some attention. So this really is about clearing the whole path for you to get exactly what it is that you want. So let's kind of see what the Six of Swords is. But really, this is about dreams coming true for you, big dreams, earth signs. Okay, so we have the King of Swords here in reverse. What else do we need to know about the Six of Swords? Eight of Cups. So really walking away from mental patterns, maybe certain issues in conversation, so maybe there's certain conversations that keep coming up and it's just like they're not productive. With the King of Swords too, this could be like maybe there was a plan or a map that you're gonna like, this isn't the map that we need to use. It maybe was what we thought we wanted. It's not gonna work for us anymore. And it's maybe about like navigating having new strategies, having a new map to like guide you, right? And so also I do feel very strongly with the King of Swords in reverse. Sometimes this is also about really removing very limiting beliefs. And this could be beliefs that you and another hold together, or maybe one of you does, and it's impacting the other. Like, I don't know. There's something around that also feels like it's coming up for transformation. But again, I want you to know the theme of your reading is about coming together in union, whether it is you and another person or you and something else. So what's this Queen of Pentacles? And again, it would be to create a third energy. So the Two of Wands in reverse. So you've been like focused on a lot of stuff here, despite not really knowing exactly how it's all going to turn out. Yeah. Okay. The Star card in reverse. And I will say that for some of you earth signs, maybe some of your hope has been dashed. Like you've been feeling like, oh, I don't know if it's ever going to work out. But for others of you, it's like, you're being guided, but you just still can't see the way. Okay. And again, the Star is about a wish fulfillment. And for some of you, this might be about a buried wish fulfillment, like one that's it hasn't really seen the light yet. Okay. It hasn't reached anywhere near its fulfillment. It might still be in seed form. And you're like, no, we need to put some roots on this. It needs to sprout. So what's this Knight of Wands? Okay. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So you move forward on something that you were like, yeah, done with this, want this. Like there were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You were very, very decisive and clear here about how you took action or what something happened here. And you likely came from a lot of guidance from within you with the Four of Swords coming up. So this may have been something that you've been guided through in your prayers, your meditation, maybe just taking more rest for yourself, really allowing yourself to retreat from the busyness of your circumstances, life, all of that. And now it's like you got the clarity and you knew exactly what needed to be done and what needed to be executed. And I would say that there was like almost like a definitive, like there is no flexibility in this, like it has to be this way. But it feels like that was in a positive way. What is the Empress? What is this Empress energy? Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. So you were definitely really fired up, feeling, and there's your Ten of Cups again. So Ten of Cups has come up twice in your reading. So yeah, this is really like there's something about you that's very expanded right now, earth signs, and there's motivation behind it. Like there's drive. And it's the motivation is coming from, yeah, I know what I want for myself. Okay, so it looks like there's been a lot of focus and there's been some steps taken here, some moves have been made, right? And some moves have been made to cut certain things out and become really non-negotiable around other things that you want to say yes to, because the big picture is in your sight. This isn't about small stuff. This is about the big stuff for you. What's this Six of Pentacles? Because this is where I feel like you're receiving something. Okay, we have the Justice card in reverse. So something that may have felt unfair, could have been related to justice. We have the King of Wands coming in here now. Again, I will say, the reason why the Queen and the King are here, I feels very much like because of the fire energy that's needed. So when you apply the right fire energy, of passion, of desire, of willing to get to some of the heat and not be scared of it, okay, like things start to shift for you, things start to move. And I will say that I feel like something could be going in your favor, that may have not been in your favor or seemed like it was unfair, whether this was just a decision or maybe it's like something has to do with something legal, documents, contracts. It feels like something starts to move in the way that you want it to. What's this 10 of Cups? Okay, we have the Page of Coins in reverse. And the Empress again. What is going on? Wow. For some of you, this really could be a pregnancy, okay? This really could be about having another child. For some of you already have children. This could also be about like, I have to say this because this is coming in strongly. Some of you who may have tried to be pregnant but maybe miscarried, this feels like there's something that's coming back around to like redo this and having a second chance at that. For others of you, it could be about birthing something, like something else is gestating in your life that is really tied deeply to a dream of yours that you started to lay some of the groundwork on, but then maybe stepped away from it. Again, maybe this is another second chance at that. I do feel like this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo does have some level of second chances to it. Again, don't expect to see the results right away, because it's going to be something that happens over the weeks and months with this particular lunar eclipse. But at least when it comes to full fruition, you might see some of the signs already. But yeah, there's big, fertile, abundant, growing energy here, and it's related to some of your biggest dreams and hopes, earth signs. So what is this Knight of Cups? Wow, okay, we have the Queen of Cups. For some of you, this is really about connecting with someone else in your life on a very deep level, on a much more meaningful level, really, really heart-based. Wow. And then we have the Death card and the 10 of Swords in reverse. So really like getting like honest about, there might be this offering a profession. Is that like someone professing their deeper heart, like their maybe stuff that they've kept, their vulnerabilities, I want to say, where they've been burned in the past, maybe some of their fears that they haven't been able to let go of, that they're wanting to like let go of in order to move forward in a way with you, or maybe this is vice versa. But it's like the sacrificing of the past to find, like, to really let go it by sacrificing, it feels like a divulgence of vulnerability. So it's like there's an offer coming your way, but it almost comes out of nowhere because you didn't really realize it was there. And maybe for some of you, this is like a deepening of a particular relationship already. Again, does not have to be romantic, where it becomes more meaningful, more connected. For others of you, this might just be about really focusing on your heart's desires of what you want to create for yourself. That is really understanding, I have to let go of these fears. I cannot carry these fears anymore. They're holding me back, that kind of energy. Now, let's get into this future energy of the Four of Cups. We'll see how this all kind of rocks out. Okay, yeah, there's your 10 of Wands in reverse. Really wanting to let go of things that you're just tired of carrying. And you have the Four of Cups in reverse. So there's something where you're like, you know what? I don't like this feeling. I don't like being here. Kind of need to be done with it. It holds me back from like what I know I'm capable of. And it's ready to kind of say, all right, I'm just not going to carry this anymore. Like, it's not mine to carry. Maybe the old version of me was okay carrying that, but I'm not carrying it anymore. For whatever, there could be a variety of reasons, right? Variety of reasons. But there's something about you really laying down a burden that you've been holding and carrying for a while. And it's attached somehow to you staying in a place that keeps you stuck, that you're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm ready to move forward. So what's this 10 of Wands? Because see, you have your 10 of Wands here. Okay, the 5 of Coins in reverse. So this is like, I'm no longer going to do this alone for some of you. 5 of Swords, and I'm no longer going to be like in a fight. I'm not, for some of you, this is about self-sabotage. Some of this is like about arguing. Like, some of the arguments are just going to finally come to rest. If this is about you and a partner, like I said, like this could be about like really realizing, you know what, like I'm tired of us feeling like we're constantly like maybe against each other. Let's find a way to get back on the same team. This could be about like understanding, like I said, there might be like a conversation that keeps coming up that really is unproductive, and realizing, you know what, like we just need to like understand, like whatever this conversation is, there's a better way to deal with it. Maybe we need to look at something deeper. Like, what's this all really about? But there's like a laying down of the sword here. Okay. There's a laying down of the sword and a willingness and a desire to not feel isolated, to not feel alone, to want to come back in together. So what's this 3 of Swords? Okay, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. This might be about something that you want, you're looking forward to. There's the Page of Cups. Okay, for some of this is about children, okay? Like maybe children that never came to be, like I talked about earlier, whether it was a miscarriage or something of that nature. For others of you, it's like this could be also about like news that's related to a dream that you're ready to start, right? And it's been delayed, and you're like, like, let's get on the same page of like, what is it that you want? What is it that I want? Can we make this work together? Like that kind of energy. But it feels very healing. And I will say to my earth signs, like, don't burn down the entire grid, okay, with the fire, but definitely use enough heat to transform. So don't be afraid to be honest with some of your pains and some of your angers and frustrations, but also like have enough grace to know that it's probably not just you feeling the same that way, and that there is a way to merge energies to create a whole new energy. What would that be, right? So I really feel like you're stepping away from an old pattern, earth signs. You're leaving some kind of pattern or circumstance behind you, and you're ready to like have a new strategy that you're ready to work with someone else on. and walk away from the things that have just kind of kept you like in that place where you're just not happy. You sometimes feel alone, right? And it's like, I don't want to be there anymore. And it's just about having like maybe some uncomfortable conversations, but you doing it in a way where the transformation comes from a little bit of heat. All right. So I see union here for you in a whole nother level if it's already there. For some of you, if it isn't, it's coming together. Okay. So earth signs, that's my reading for you. I love it. Wow. Right under 2 hours. I love it. That was just so good. You know, at the retreat this past weekend, I don't know if you guys got my Quetzalcoatl newsletter way back when. Where Quetzalcoatl came to me in a journey in December and bent time around me and took me to the actual retreat and showed me like the intensity of the journeys. And I was like, oh my God, it's so strong. Well, it really was. The first journey night was so strong. It was so intense. But time, all of us felt like, oh my God, it feels like we've been here forever, you know? And it was just like time was going by so slowly, but it was like, it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was just like, what is going on with time? The whole time just felt like, usually like, it felt like so expanded. So it was one of those weird places where it didn't feel like we were collapsing time. It felt like we were like opening time up and creating more spaciousness within the time to do more stuff. And it was just wild how that kind of came through and how like my journey with Quetzalcoatl showing me how to bend time came through in this whole retreat, which was so wild. And yeah, so anyways, I love you guys. Don't forget, tomorrow is the live podcast with Mary Decina for our lunar eclipse in Virgo. Definitely remember this eclipse it's gonna happen tomorrow morning, right? So but it's literally happening in the morning. However, this is gonna unfold over weeks and months, so definitely still tune in with Mary and I tomorrow. If you're on the live, we'll maybe take some questions for you. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask Mary, she can pull a card for you. We'll do that tomorrow. I just keep in mind with this Virgo eclipse, really, and it also like it's a south node eclipse during a Mercury retrograde that is ruling the eclipse. So this is really, you're going to see like people from the past, things of the past, really coming up for resolution, what really needs to be let go. Or maybe in some cases, some of you missed opportunities are going to come back for a second chance. So just be very aware of that. Because Mercury is kind of going retrograde through Pisces to really look at like your hopes and your dreams. Where have you been disillusioned, and where have you been perhaps maybe not fueling your dreams, not asking for more? And so it's all that kind of coming up. So, all right, guys, love you. Oh, here in a second. Let me just read the chat here really quickly. I just got to expand something so I can see it all. There we go. Oh, you just published your first book titled Two Wolves, One Cat, A Modern Shaman Without a Mentor. Oh my God, I love the title. That's amazing. You started writing your second book, but lost momentum a few weeks ago. Yeah, okay. Well, those creative energies, let them come back. Maybe the Mercury retrograde will help you out there. But I love the title of that book. Okay, guys, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow night on the podcast.